Secrets in video games really are nothing new, but they all share in the common presence that challenges the player to explore what the developers put passion in to offer for them without marketing to them or putting them in the game on a surface level. Some of my favorites include Batman's Arkham Asylum Easter egg teasing Arkham City, Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne's hidden areas, and Portal 2's singing turret / Turret King secret. For the purpose of this video, however, we'll be looking at a secret mission from a developer that has a big reputation of secrets themselves. Bungie is seriously no stranger to them, from the Tribute Hall in Halo Reach to the secret mission we have covered in Destiny like Black Spindle, Whisper the Worm, and Outbreak Perfected. Bungie seriously doesn't hold back on secret missions, to the point where the community almost expects one every year. One thing Bungie also does a good job of is introducing a path for storytelling through these secrets as well, and they do a good job to tease something coming in the future. So in today's video, we'll talk about a secret weapon that had no time to explain, and what potential implications it had with the game of Destiny 2 today. So grab a snack, brush your teeth, and hit the vax as we dive deep into this story. Some footage in this video is from players around the community. Their links will be in the description of this video, as well as the music too. I would like to introduce you to a piece of merchandise that I am super happy to collaborate with the artist to make. Nostalgic is here in color or in grayscale. Stay tuned for the end of the video to find out more, or click the link at the top of the description to purchase this piece of merch yourself. 100,000 subscribers is approaching, and I want to say thank you all for all your support, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, a like and a sub goes a long way. Thank you all. Zoom. Destiny 1 base campaign. You're back in the Cosmodrome. The first mission, A Guardian Rises. You find your ship and escape narrowly from a fallen captain, but someone is watching you as you fly away. Jump forward to the Moons of Dark Beyond mission, and an Exo stares at you in the distance, then disappears. Further in, with the mission A Stranger's Call, you find out that she has no time to explain what she has no time to explain. In the final mission of the base campaign, after you take out that giant feeling of chewing 5 gum in the sky, she hands you a weapon for all your troubles. The first legendary many players would own, the Stranger's Rifle. Now, this weapon was a legendary, but it was the only weapon in the game at that point to have the sights on it the way it did, and it was a controller's best friend with the aim assist and recoil deviation. It had full auto so you could hold the trigger, fitted stock to increase the stability, and the perk Rewind so missing a shot could return the shot to the magazine. So, the Stranger handed you the gun, and we have never seen her since that cutscene ever in Destiny again. But we may in the time soon to come in Destiny 2, and we will talk about that later. Just hold on to that for now. So, is that it then? Just a gun at the end of the campaign? Nothing else? You probably know the answer. Come on, let's go. This is the Taken King, 1 year from the time players were given the Stranger's Rifle. The Taken King brought so many experiences to Destiny that weren't there before, like infusion, materials not needing to be farmed for hours, an actual story, new exotics, exclusives, a raid, you name it, the Taken King had it. The other thing the Taken King had to discover, and wasn't on a certain level, was discovered on Wednesday, September 23rd, 2015 by user Tackiest Taco, who found a secret in a daily heroic mission on the moon. This mission is one that we have covered pretty extensively, but I bring it up for a reason. This was the first time Bungie ever made a whole secret mission in Destiny, and was for a weapon that was a modified version of one of the most powerful weapons in the game prior. This also led to Reddit's raid secrets to get excited for more potential secrets that could be out there. I remember talking to friends about this mission and constantly saying the same thing. If this is in the game, I wonder what other secrets are out there. Hold on to that quote. The Taken King had a variety of spaces and did a good job of putting the Taken into areas we had already been to. Some will say it's reskinned content, but I would honestly say it was a way of making use of areas that had no use outside of their activities and made sense story-wise to the Taken trying to, well, take everything. Alien demons. Go figure. One mission stood out throughout though. The mission Paradox focused on Praedyth, the Vex, and the Taken. The mission starts with the player walking to the Vault of Glass, the first raid of the game and one we talked very in depth about in a past video. The mission starts with the player not being attacked by the Vex that guard the vault, but being contacted by a strange signal. A signal from the Guardian Praedyth, who has been trapped in time by the Vex. But the path is weird. The Taken have interrupted it and Praedyth can contact us. He tells us about his journey down there with Kabir and Pahanin, and wants us to relay the information that he lived, but then a Taken Hydra blocks the signal. After the Hydra is dead, the signal gets tracked to one spot, and the skeleton remains are all that is left. The bones are told to be centuries old, and Praedyth is truly gone, and that is the end of a truly great mission. He said until he had to continue the video. That was until September 28th, 2015, when user DST Sleep made a post on Destiny the Game subreddit titled "Secret Found in the Paradox Mission?" The hunt was now on. The Paradox mission was great, but the mystery started when the post on Reddit was made. How did they come across this secret? What was this secret? And honestly, how crazy was it that this secret was found mere days after the other secret of the Black Spindle mission? Sleep said that, quote, "Hey Guardians, I helped a friend today with the Paradox mission. At the end, we got teleported to the Venus part from the Atheon fight. We had to kill an Ultra Minotaur. At the end, we were able to open up a chest, and there was Praedyth's ghost. Does anyone know how it got triggered? I'm gonna post a picture later for proof." He said he turned in the ghost to Future War Cult for reputation, but that was it, nothing more. Well, until October 20th, 2015, when the mission and the secret was truly revealed. So if you were to fire up the Paradox mission and take a different path than normal, a ghost would be lying on the ground. The message was from Praedyth. Praedyth states, quote,
"So the Vex have predicted their own annihilation. When did they believe this would happen? Can the calculations of minds the size of planets be wrong?"
Let's continue. The second ghost was found later into the mission down the tunnel of the secret path after the Templar, and the ghost states that, quote,
"I had a friend back at the tower. She used to say, 'Praedyth, there's always room in the mind for hope. It's the crack that lets the light in.' The Vex have no hope, no imagination, no drive, no fear. All they have is the pattern. Everything must fit. If it can be made to fit, good. If it can't, it gets cut away."
Who was this friend? Was this potentially the stranger? We will have to find out. The final ghost was where many players back in the Vault of Glass thought the sixth chest was going to be. Hidden away in a corner down by the changing platforms, the final ghost states that, quote,
"They think this is the end of them. A path with no escape. And yet, here they are. There they were, and there they will be, and there they will have been. For them, there is no paradox. There is only the pattern. And the pattern needs the Vex to see it to completion. And so the Vex must be for the mind of the Vex. Is that faith?"
After this line is said, the portal that previously had not been lit in the room was now turned on, and a pathway formed to allow you in. Once in the room, it looks familiar, like an old Vault of Glass, way back before we ever made it there. A fight against a giant taken Minotaur was on, and Praedyth says,
Enslaved to a will they don't understand. A will long dead here. Dead eons ago. But then they won't end, will they? Because you're here.
This quote to me calls to the strike that we have already covered in a previous video, the Festering Core. At the time of the Taken King, a Taken war against the Vex was with Oryx, but now that he was dead, Savathun had her hands on Coria and could take the fight against the Vex herself. He finally ends the alternate ending to the mission with the close that,
The Vex won't spare the city. They won't even thank you. But that's the thing about light. You never know where it'll shine.
a soul at rest to a guardian who was lost in time. We now may bring his ghost to rest. So that was the end of the secret heroic version of the mission that Bungie put in. But the quest wasn't over. Once you brought the shell back on this day and were pledged with future war cult, Lakshmi, the faction's leader, had a quest for you to do. The first step was simple: gain 1000 reputation to the faction to prove you were worthy. So just turn in a bunch of motes of light. The next step was to kill a taken Minotaur. Simple enough, just do the secret mission ending again. Oh, assuming that was the heroic mission for the day. Or just wait for a public event with the taken Minotaur. That won't take an hour or two. Nope, not at all. Once you did kill a taken Minotaur, it dropped a simulation core, and upon dismantling it, the next step popped up. This time, run a vault of glass and kill Atheon. Atheon dropped his eye, and upon dismantling that, you will need to go to the Twilight Gap. Once spawned in, there was this really odd taken essence everywhere with the light in places to cleanse yourself, much like how you had to stay cleansed in the Atheon encounter of the Vault of Glass. But once you navigated your way through all this, a chest randomly spawned somewhere, and inside the chest was the bracelet of Anna Bray? What does she have to do with all this? Was Bungie teasing Anna Bray this early? After this, you need to go to the Black Garden and kill a Minotaur, and not exactly an easy fight, as Minotaurs surround you on all sides and never stop spawning, so it was all about roasting this boss. Once the boss was dead, that was it. The end of the quest was now over. Lakshmi then gave you the exotic pulse rifle, No Time to Explain. This was a pulse rifle with the perks Full Auto and Rewind Again. This may sound familiar because it is. This is an exotic version of the pulse rifle, the Stranger's Rifle. And while the Stranger's Rifle had the perk Rewind, No Time to Explain had the perk Rewind Again, which made it so every precision hit would return ammo to the magazine. This made for a pretty good option in PvP and a pretty decent option in PvE, at least on bosses to save ammo. But it was not the best option for everything. Overall, a good but not great weapon. I wanted to now talk about what to me is the important part of this quest and what it can mean in the near future. So the stranger went on Venus tells us this.
No. I was not forged in light. But I believe where our paths cross, ground could break.
She believes where our paths will cross, the ground will break. We next meet her in the tower, which was destroyed at the beginning of Destiny 2. Coincidence or not? Let me know. An item that we pull during the quest on Twilight Gap is the Bracelet of Anna Bray. Why is that important? Well, it has been long speculated and all but confirmed that the stranger is Elsie Bray, Anna Bray's sister. Bife and Mylan would both have great videos on this, so I highly recommend you go check those out. But the last and final piece of evidence that tells me this gun may have a bigger impact than we think is simply in the description of it, which tells us there is one word sketched into the inside of the weapon casing. The word, soon. Now, it has been since the vanilla campaign of Destiny since we have last seen the stranger, but we have heard word from her in the 2-year-long puzzle we talked about before. I got it wrong that Rasputin sent the message in that video, but the final message from this puzzle shows us that it was in fact the stranger sending a message to us, saying, quote, The time of our final conflict is drawing closer, and you and Anna have an important role to play in the events to come. I believe this to be soon, where the ground breaks, potential planet blowing up, and where Anna will have an important role to play. Bungie recently sent out a recording on Twitter in which audio peaks and dips form a pyramid. And the Almighty is flying in front of the sun, facing the tower. And Rasputin, with our help, has shown us that something serious is coming. It's time to explain. Soon. The No Time to Explain. A mission caught up in time. Given to us from a mission where a Guardian is trapped in time. The gun etched by a Guardian that can seemingly move through time, and the message that will come to life soon in time. What an incredible piece of foreshadowing with a very cool secret mission and weapon to top it all off. This is what Destiny is made of. Stories to dig into with secrets and missions to get excited about. I want to say a big thank you for watching this video, and I am going to leave a timestamp for the bloopers, but I wanted to tell you about this amazing piece of artwork that can be yours by clicking the link in the description. I have teamed up with an amazing artist named Tostage to make Nostalgic, a piece with all 4 Destiny 1 raid bosses and 6 Guardians underneath. The bosses are incredibly detailed and look impressively towering. Underneath you will see Guardians with shaders from the raids like Glowhoo and Timeglass, relics like Aegis, Scorch Cannon, and the Sword, and exotics like Gallahorn, Icebreaker, and Touch of Malice. So much more detail can be found in the gear, and you can rock this full color or in grayscale as a shirt, mousepad, print, phone case, sticker, long sleeve, kid size, and much more at the Design by Humans link down below. Thank you all so much for listening, and if you did enjoy, a like would be greatly appreciated, as well as a subscription. 94,000 subscribers on YouTube, that is absolutely insane to say, and I think we can hit 100,000 by the time this video starts popping up in your recommended feed. Anyway guys, have a great day and enjoy the bloopers. I'll see you later.
Dude. Filter intensity. Yeah, we don't need no filters. Oh my lord. Wow.
It's 3 symbols, so it's 3 houses. 3.
Speed, this is what I heard. I swear, if this is a troll. I freaking hate you. I hate you with everything in me right now. I actually hate you. I actually hate you.
It's 3 symbols, so it's 3 houses.
That actually hurt my ears. I couldn't hear anything, so I turned my head.
And then you get to level 7.
Please watch these 2 minutes of ads. Cap, I don't play ads. Stay, watch my chair spin in multiple circles. Count 'em.